Things are not getting any better between Pakistan and Afghanistan. There has been a serious escalation of hostilities between the two countries after Pakistan carried out airstrikes in Afghanistan on Sunday. Pakistan said that it targeted terrorist hideouts belonging to Pakistani Taliban, its affiliates, and Islamic State Khorasan at the border region of Pakistan and Afghanistan. Pakistan's Dawn newspaper is reporting that Pakistan is claiming that dozens of militants were killed in these strikes. That's the Pakistan side of the story. Afghan Taliban deny these claims. Afghan Taliban says that in these strikes, civilians were killed. Now, due to limited access to media, it's very difficult to independently verify these claims. Pakistan says that the militant groups that it targeted were behind the suicide bombing in Bajor, in Bannu, and the bombing at a Shia mosque in Islamabad earlier this month. Afghan Taliban again completely deny all of these allegations. Pakistan has long been saying that militant groups like Tehrik-e-Taliban Pakistan and its affiliates are being sheltered in Afghanistan and are being also supported by the Afghan Taliban. Again, it's an accusation that the Afghan Taliban continue to deny, but that has made the situation very complex between the two countries. It's almost a stalemate. Pakistan blames Afghanistan and Afghanistan deny these accusations. It's important to mention a United Nations Security Council report here. According to this report, there are several militant groups that are operating in Afghanistan, including Tehrik-e-Taliban Pakistan, Al Qaeda, Islamic Movement of Uzbekistan, and Jamaat Ansarullah, among others, and Islamic State Khorasan as well. But the United Nations report says that other than Islamic State Khorasan, almost all other groups enjoy a good relationship with the Afghan Taliban. Afghan Taliban deny that that there are any militants or terrorist groups operating in Afghanistan. So Pakistan and Afghanistan are now in a very difficult situation. Every other day, Pakistani soldiers are being killed. Pakistani civilians are being killed in militant groups. Pakistan military releases footage of funerals of Pakistani soldiers or of civilians being killed in these attacks. And then in almost every statement, it blames Afghanistan for these attacks, or it blames Pakistani Taliban and other militant groups, but says that these groups are being sheltered and harbored by the Afghan Taliban. And Afghan Taliban deny these accusations. And Pakistan carries out at airstrikes in Afghanistan. Afghanistan says it's civilians being killed. So, what is the solution to this complex problem? There have been several rounds of negotiations between the two countries. Last year, there was a major escalation of hostilities between the two countries. Pakistan carried out airstrikes in Afghanistan, even in the capital Kabul. Afghanistan retaliated by carrying out its own cross-border attacks. Dozens of people were killed in these attacks. Then Turkey and Qatar started mediating talks between the two countries, but those talks failed. If we speak with the human rights observers in the region, or journalists who are security experts who have been following this conflict, they say that Pakistan may benefit in the short run with these strikes, but in the long run, both these two countries have to find a solution to this very complex problem. Pakistan has long been supporting the Afghan Taliban during the US invasion of Afghanistan. There are well documented reports where it was found that Pakistan had been supporting the Afghan Taliban while at the same time also supporting and helping the US and NATO troops in Afghanistan. And when Afghan Taliban took control of Afghanistan, there were many people in Pakistan who were very happy and who said that now their partners are coming into power in Afghanistan. But they fail to understand the complex and close relationship between the Pakistani Taliban and the Afghan Taliban. During the US invasion of Afghanistan, Pakistani Taliban TTP militant group was formed as a resistance in Pakistan because Pakistani state was helping the US and NATO troops, and Pakistani Taliban wanted to express their solidarity with the Afghan Taliban. They saw these international troops and the US troops as an invasion of Afghanistan, and during that time Pakistani Taliban and the Afghan Taliban became very close. Say they have the same ideology, they share familial ties. And when Afghan Taliban came to power, it was very difficult for them to break ties with the Pakistani Taliban, and that is what the Pakistani government wants the Afghan Taliban to do, to break ties with the Pakistani Taliban. So all of this is a very complex security problem. So what can be done? There is a ray of hope. Few days ago, Afghan Taliban released 3 Pakistani soldiers in a Saudi-mediated settlement. So that just gives some hope, or it's an example that settlement or negotiations or talks may eventually work out. Pakistan and Afghanistan both are neighbors, they're not going anywhere. And ultimately, both these countries would have to find a solution to this complex problem. Pakistanis are being killed in Afghanistan. Civilians are being killed. That's what the Afghan Taliban have been claiming. So at the end of the day, Pakistani and Afghan people are being punished, or are bearing the brunt of the hostilities between the two countries. Borders have been shut for many for months now, actually. Both sides are also bearing huge financial losses. There is no easy solution, but ultimately, some negotiation or some talks have to be initiated between the two countries, so this very deadly and complex problem between the two countries can be resolved.